Welcome to the Friday Pastor's Devotional on YouTube. I'm Bob Lee, pastor here at Huguenot Road Baptist Church, just southwest of Richmond, Virginia. Thank you so much for taking a few minutes of your day to watch and listen. I hope that our time together is helpful, encouraging, and hopeful to you. And if it is, I'd love for you to share this devotional and the others with some friends. Perhaps you'll share it on your social channels and so forth. But it's Friday, October 3rd, 2025, and I'd like to share some of what I've been reading recently in a book by Dallas Willard. The book is entitled The Divine Conspiracy, and it's Dallas Willard's classic. And I've had it for some time on my shelf, and I have never read it. I've read some of his others, but not this one, and I'm really enjoying it. You might be aware, but Dallas Willard was a longtime professor of philosophy at the University of Southern California. He was also a Baptist and a devoted Christian. Much of his writing centered on Christian spirituality. You might have read his book, The Spirit of the Disciplines, which is a great book on spiritual formation and the Christian disciplines. But in the first chapter of The Divine Conspiracy, Willard is talking about the kingdom of God. And then he gets into a section that speaks of how we are able to interface with God moment by moment. And that it really spoke to me, and I wanted to share it with you. He writes, God nevertheless pursues us redemptively and invites us individually, every last one of us, to be faithful to him in the little we truly have say over. There, at every moment, we live in the interface between our lives and God's kingdom. Again, between we live in the interface between our lives and God's kingdom. And the phrase "at every moment" really caught me. And in that section, Willard quotes Frank Laubach, who was a missionary in the 20th century in the Philippines. He and his wife served in the Philippines. They were from Pennsylvania, and they served for years in the Philippines. And the quote from Laubach really illustrates this moment-by-moment understanding. And in his spiritual journey, Laubach set out to commune with God, or to think of Jesus, actually, to think of Jesus 1 second out of every minute. So just imagine that. 1 second of every minute. That's moment by moment. And he says this, it is exactly that moment by moment, every waking moment, surrender, responsiveness, obedience, sensitiveness, pliability, lost in his love, that I now have the mind bent to explore with all my might. And he focuses on two passions, Laubach does. First, to be like Jesus, and second, to respond to God as a violin responds to the bow of the master. And I love that. To respond to God as a violin responds to the bow of the master. And he says, open your soul and entertain the glory of God, and after a while that glory will be reflected in the world about you and in the very clouds above your head. And I just think that's a beautiful picture of cooperating with God in every detail of our day, moment by moment, thinking of Jesus 1 second out of every minute of every day. Now, I'll never attain to that, but I can try. It's sort of like what the Apostle Paul says in 1 Thessalonians 5:17, simply this, pray continually. Or you might have heard it translated, pray without ceasing. Brother Lawrence also lived that way. You remember not long ago, I wrote about Brother Lawrence, who was a monk who served in the kitchen of the monastery, and he met God in the ordinary, humble washing of the dishes. So, moment by moment with God, not just in worship services, but in the details of everyday existence. Maybe you'll give it a try. Maybe you'll try to think of Jesus, maybe not every second of every minute, but frequently throughout the day. Try turning your mind to Christ again and again to discover, as Laubach did and Dallas Willard, that God is already at work with you, within you, and around you. Thanks again for watching and listening. God bless. See you soon.